Testament and the word of Jesus Christ to help you overcome what I have overcome. First, use the word I, since being reborn, that can be used in context with regular people and not violate sacred syntax, which means the vessel is cleaner. Now I have access to the word I, and I don't have to speak in third person anymore, which is fucking great. Ooh, that's a relief, just so you know. A little uncomfortable walking around all day speaking in third person everywhere you go, no matter who speaks to you. Oh man. That's incredible. Okay. Today is going to be a day of miracles. I'm a preacher, a minister, and I'm here to perform miracles on behalf of Jesus Christ. So, who's on?
There's one new guy on. I'm not sure if he's ready to speak.
Let's see if miracles are real. You decide.
We could also talk about last night a little bit,
Sure,
remember.
Captain.
Yeah, man.
What you got?
Whoa, wow.
Wow. That's guys that went to a strip club last night.
Not even, it was before that. I was in the car. Because this is not the talk for the strip club,
Nah.
This is the talk for.
Oh, I got it. We're in church. We're talking about strip club. My bad.
Well, I mean,
Correct me when I'm
if you
wrong.
want to.
No, I don't want to talk about
public, everything.
No, it's all good. Go ahead. Talk about what you want to say. There it is.
Yeah. Demons are real.
Demons are real, says the scientist in the group. No longer a scientist for the bad guys.
Well,
he's now a scientist for the good guys.
Shit.
PhD for the good guys. That's right. Go ahead.
I'd already claimed that and already knew that, but it's like when you're on the edge of a cliff, or let's say before you get to the edge of the cliff, someone just
can you put him on camera too, or no? He should be on camera. Split screen. What happened to our tech today? The moment they got paid, they fucking fucked up. Right? Next day, two were missing. I'm like, where's those two? Now this ain't working, and we're not split screening. You see what happens when money comes in? Root of all evil. Yeah. Hold on a second. You're missing out on him.
We have to sit next to you then, because this person might give you that laptop.
Oh, we got here. Come sit next to me. Too close. Too much aura. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
it's like,
let's talk about it.
If you knew that you would, let's say someone described for you like going to the edge of a cliff, or there's an old imagination exercise of like you're about to jump out of a plane. Like, what are you feeling when you jump out? Like, that's very different than when you're about to jump out of a plane.
Oh,
even if your imagination was more or less accurate, it becomes more real when you're in it.
Yeah, like how accurate could possibly be, right?
I mean,
it would still be a movie scene or something. It can't be at the edge of the cliff.
Yeah, at the most, it could be
like way far back. Right. At the most, you can't even get close to it.
So it was, and even if I've had real experiences in the past, and that's where what I was saying came from, when you're not in it, it becomes less and less real. It's like it's more in the past, which is your imagination, right? You're just remembering something.
Exactly.
So when you're in it, it's like, oh shit, this is very similar to like wrestling or whatever. Like, it's all easy to think about wrestling or grappling or fighting when you're outside of it. Oh, like when we watch the UFC, it's just like grab his neck. And it's like it's so easy. But when you're in it, it's like
when you're in it, you only think about the ring girl.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, just being in it, and then feeling that, and having someone that can help put the language on the experience of it to kind of encapsulate it, or even so much as like speak the demon's name, like just naming it, being able to describe it as it's happening.
That sounds crazy. So what are you talking about?
What you and I and what everybody in the car.
It sounds like the movie The Exorcist.
Yeah. And
hold on, listen, guys, listen up. All right, listen up. We're two real guys who've done some real shit in life. Look at us. We're good fighters too. Listen to what's happening. He sounds like he's describing an Exorcist movie, but he's talking about him and I. All right. Now, we might sound crazy to you. And of that,
Yeah.
Let get the context of what's happening. And he's not talking about a fairy tale. He's talking about last night in the car. In the car. Don't you want to live like this if you're a guy listening to this? I mean, obviously we won.
I don't know if they like. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like that's the result.
We're on the winning team.
Yeah, like it's not just some dark fairy tale or some
It's just dark.
It's not just like what is it, Dungeons and Dragons or some. Yeah, it's like
it's just dark.
It's not just dark. Man, it's
no words can describe it. That's why you can't see it.
And it's
they're looking for that Hollywood darkness.
Yeah,
you can't see it. It's somewhere else. It's not with these eyes.
Yeah,
it's the one when you sit down and close your eyes for 5 minutes today, and you can't sit because there's images and feelings that don't look good and feel good, right? These are distractions. The Buddhism will tell you that. Taoism will tell you that. Yogism will tell you that, right? Like every spiritual being. Why am I hearing myself, bro? Every spiritual being, I'm echoing over there, has told us that the senses are the trap. Like we read it, we go over it, and we go to the next one that fits with our life at that moment. The senses are a trap, right? And there's the word insight and meditation and all the words that go in, right? Temple, like all these ideas. So what everybody thinks is going on is not going on. And that's why you can't fix it. Why can't you just fix it then? And why couldn't anybody around you fix it? Like, why can't anybody fix anything? Well, because it's the wrong thing. Like if you have a cut on this arm, right? And you start ointmenting this arm, in time, this cut will heal if you're healthy enough. And you think it was this ointment. You're just like, this has nothing to do with this. That's why you can't control what's going on. You think the cause and effect is your saying for whatever book you read that said, when a person crosses their legs, they're feminine. Right? You know what this girl says to me yesterday?
We should say so.
Check this out. She's like, hey, I just have to tell you because you're my man. I want you to know. Right? Whatever. I can already taste the venom in it. And she goes, well, one of my friends, she was like, you're so excited about him and this and that. And well, she said, she thinks you're gay. I'm a what? I'm gay. She goes, you are? I was like, what? What the fuck? Exactly. They get lost in the words. Like, wait, I'm sorry, what? Did you just tell your son is your boyfriend? All right, I'm gay now. Now I'm a fag. Right? Now I'm black and white and orange. Yeah. Why are you talking? Are you living in works? Are you living in experience? Are you guys living in goals, words, purposes, dreams, self-control, self-help, self-improvement? Are you living in family, and are you living in working hard, but you're hardly working when you're there? Right? Are you living in are you living in I'm helping her out, but you're actually trying to have sex with her? Are you living in that storyline? Right? Are you living in well, I need to make a lot of money so that I can help a lot of people storyline? But if you made a lot of money and you were promised all the money infinitely for you to do anything you want to do, one condition, no sex for the rest of your life. Do you still want that money, or is it against sex at the end of that? What storyline are you living in that doesn't allow you to see exactly what the hell is happening right in front of you? Thank you. Continue. When him and I talk, probably nobody will talk today. This could be the show. Let's go. I'm not kidding. I mean, it goes on forever. We used to smoke in the middle, remember? Yeah. So I was like 2, 3 a.m. We got to shut this off now. It would just be him and I. But we're talking quantum physics at that time. Yeah. Particle matter, and I'm asking questions, scientists. So like, what do they say about the theory of this? And what do you know about, I don't remember the words anymore, right? Mm-hmm. But then it would start like that, but he's also a yogi and I'm a monk. And he's super advanced. So it would start like, oh, what do you know about thermodynamics? Because I would have some kind of a revelation. Sure. And he would tell me, and he would say, I have a question, and we go up, and the next thing you know, we're talking yoga, the pose. Then we're talking fighting because we have that in common. And we're moving in this world and we're in pickup. And suddenly it's like this realization about our own character. And we go, wait, that's what this conversation now is with the proper sentences that free every time they're spoken, right? Okay, continue.
Yeah, very strong. The biblical words bring us back to reality. Everything you just said, the lost in the words and the concepts as if those are the real experience. And that's, why it's so difficult to handle these internal subjective states of experience, the demons, is because we think there's something that they're not. So we're like, it's the language of the real language helps get a grip literally on what's happening. And then you overcome it. It's as easy to overcome as anything, to take a step forward or grab an apple and take a bite. It's just
for a world-class champion wrestler, world-class champion Yogi. Okay, it's like you just said, you talk wrestle really good. You're gonna put in some motherfucking work. It ain't that easy.
I mean, yes, and I've been around for 9 years in IMC, so I've learned a lot. The foundations.
We laid the foundation, didn't we? For the last life.
Man,
now you see how everything makes sense,
and it's really coming to be so useful, all of this stuff. Like, so I'm excited for the future and this evolution of the movement and how people come to it. So anyway, back to last night, like, it's just profound. It's a profound experience. I think that coming in person is so essential. Being here in person, I feel bad for the guys that aren't.
Fuck them.
Yeah,
fuck you for not being here.
So man.
Yeah, fuck them. Last night, what did I say about your tolerance level to shoot the demon and his?
Yes, it's a different threshold. So
I said you go right away where he would give them reasons, right? But take him to the end, and you don't want to see what he would do. This is exactly this.
I agree, because Steph, everything happened last night. Just amplified what you said about that threshold. Like, it's true. It's sense, because what Yogi was saying about.
Damn, we don't have a camera on him now. Would you like to sit next to me? And next thing we're all like, and then Tavi, you can sit. We're always gonna sit on my lap at some point. Here's Tavi who's gonna testify. Go ahead, Tavio. Don't let your head is crooked. Why are your tank top all fucked up? Who dressed you today? Like, Gio.
So yeah, it's like saying, like, these language words, these biblical words. Oh man, they can finally set. I can have so much of a separation between my emotions, because without this language, I hate saying this, but it's like I would relate my intuition, or whatever you want to call it, whatever, to emotions. That's why I thought that was my way of using or guiding my intuition.
Well, you know what? You and I had to actually go and experience that, so that when we see the light, we know the difference. Many people don't even reach that. I worked my entire life for my animal instincts to kick in.
Damn.
Okay, but so what I'm about to say right now, I'll tell you guys in executioner's class, if you remember this. Okay, but now knowing what the true animal instinct that God would give an animal versus.
All
right, check this out. Yeah. Ready? I thought I knew what a lion was. This morning, right before class, when no cameras are supposed to be here, I now know what a lion is. The Father showed me. Okay, this is a lion. You get it? And you and I had to experience that fake one, so that when this happens, oh, that's how a lion breathes. Now I'm a lion in a moment. See the difference?
Yeah.
In a moment, I'm a lion. So go ahead.
And just like I said, this biblical language, I could definitely now the separation between emotion and intuition, they're not the same. And I've had this knowing this, but I just couldn't discern the difference.
Beautiful. Thank you. Let's go back to you, Chris. He started. Captain takes it. Yes. Captain's taking the lead today. Took the ball.
Yeah. Well, pass. I mean, on one end of what we're talking about, it's like living in words and experiences. That's not or living in words as if they were the experiences, and that's not the experience. And at the other end, I'm trying with words to convey the experience of what I actually went through. And so it's like, it's just so profound. So I'm experiencing energy and tumultuousness inside that.
That's word.
Is, yeah.
It's like when you're in a dryer, right? Tumultuous would be the feeling of the word. tumultuous. Inside, it's like a dryer going. Yeah.
Very similar to the like how that would seem, except not moving.
Oh.
So it's like that feeling, if you can imagine being in a really, really hot tumbler that you're just tumbling and you're like, you can't get your bearings, but then you're like frozen in that experience.
Oh.
So it's like
next level.
Yeah, and that's what I was experiencing. It was fun.
You're held as it's moving.
Yeah. So
but it's moving, but you're held, so you can't move. And that's what that was.
And it wasn't that yet. It was just frozen here.
I see.
And then as we started shining the light on it through the help of my brothers in the vehicle, there's 5 of us in this nice big Cadillac, thanks Magic Man or Geo. And then it starts moving. And then I'm expressing how I'm experiencing it to AZD and everybody.
I have to correct myself. So it wasn't holding you, it was clutched.
It was clutching something in me.
Yeah, it started looking, it started moving.
Yes, when we started, and it I don't know, it must be possible because I'm thinking, is it possible? But I don't know how I would have been able to do it without assistance in that moment. So it was definitely thanks to the assistance of everybody in the car, not just AZD dialoguing with me, but everybody else being able to acknowledge and getting multiple points of feedback. It's
everybody like, being able to hear the language and understanding what I'm saying to him.
Yeah.
And also not, because at some point another brother was involved. And I measured that very fast. But they were quickly on the same team. So the other brother didn't have enough ego in him to attach. It was so-and-so, that name, right? Inside, boom, demon moves, right? Boom, boom, then he separates, and now it's like floating in here, this thing.
Yeah. So something happens with the subjective experience when the words that describe what truly is happening come to light.
Yeah.
That's shining the light on the shadow. In the shadow, it's ambiguous, it's vague, you can't really get a grip on it because it could be anywhere. If the room is dark, it could be over there, it could be over there. But as soon as you turn on the light, you know where it is.
Nice.
So then it starts moving, and that's what the right words, the accurate, truthful words of what's happening
when you have an emotion inside of you.
And you're right, and what my internal experience was happening. So it starts moving, some time passes, more dialogue is happening, readdress the situation. Hey, what's the experience like now? I describe what the experience is. And then, whether it's just imagery or putting some kind of story on it so that it makes sense, the result is the proof.
Scientist.
So how the experience changed for me as it got named, as I'm feeling the experience on my throat or the experience in my belly, and how to describe that so that my mind, in my understanding, so that my mind can really understand what's happening and it's not caught in confusion. So as I get a handle on reality, it's like, I'm strong, I know how to climb, I can climb out of this as long as I have handholds. But if I don't have handholds, I'm just like scraping at a slick wall and I can't get out. And so that's what the true words of the experience, they assist with that. And then of course the rest of the night, like we were saying at the very beginning, like the strip club and everything, like it was a great night. It was a lot of evolution, just marvelous, right?
Marvelous. It was marvelous.
It started with
Marvel Comics.
Yeah. It started with the car ride.
Marvel Comics, marvelous.
And just the right language on it. So it's so fascinating because we're lost in the false words of false experiences that
we're lost in the comic book when we're actually living the comic book.
We forget that that we are comic book.
That those comic books are the imaginations of those people also viewing reality for a moment, but not ever being told that that's actually real. And that they are actually viewing a glimpse of some reality that they're in. And they're just describing the characters. And every boy knows growing up that there's some truth in that superhero. We all know something about Superman is true, as ridiculous as he is. Otherwise, we wouldn't follow him. We know he has a power that's familiar to us, right? All the powers of all the superheroes you've ever been attracted to are actually your actual gifts in life. I'm here to testify for it, and I'll show it. Come here. You tell me how it's happening then, okay? And now he'll show it, because you showed it last time, then he'll show it, and then he'll show it, and he'll show it. And then you're going to have to be faced with this truth, right? We're here to testify. The words in this book are creating this experience, okay? Let's get that for a second. So That's it for that.
And I think anybody that, just little analogy or
Anal
logic, anal logic.
Here's some anal logic for you.
Here's some anal logic for you. Is anybody that's an entrepreneur or a business person, and it takes years, takes time to build something, and
An entrepreneur is one who enters in a manure.
Enter
manure.
Oh,
So enter manure. The number one enter manure of the world is right there. Look at it. It looks like shit, sounds like shit, smells like shit. And he's trying to cover it up. There's the enter your manure. You don't want to have a career, now you want to enter your own manure. And don't step into somebody else's shit, right? You got to be entering your own manure because you got to soil whatever money, whatever is going on in that. Okay, so that's enter your manure.
Yeah, no, now I'll say enterprise.
So
anybody that's
don't talk about me. Okay. Yeah, okay. It all makes sense.
Yeah. So anyone that's engaging in their own enterprise and building that for themselves, as if you get more successful, it takes time, it's effort, and 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, people are like, that looks so easy, or you're so blessed, you're so fortunate, or they try to jump in at the top. They weren't at the ground level going up or whatever.
I want to be a black belt.
Right.
Where do I get it?
It's like that. Yeah, it would be definitely.
How long have you been training? So if I train for 4 years, 3 days a week, I'll get it too. Okay, I'm ready for my black belt. Like, I won't even get a white belt around me. Hey, how come you don't have a belt yet? AZD hasn't given one yet. How long have you been here? 6 years. I think he thinks I'm a black belt. That's Simi. What was that fucking guy that graduated, never came back? That would say. He walked in. I was like, "You're already a black belt, bro." He's like, "Really?" Hold on, let me send you some books. Here's how I got my black belt. AZD, am I right? I'm like, that. You are fucking right. Go and start a school. Just don't get challenged. Just don't get challenged because you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And he will.
Yeah, and so we're building something here that's, as L. Ron Hubbard would say, an island of sanity, and it's getting.
And Jesus would say Eden.
Eden. We're in Eden.
It's literally.
I told my dad that this morning about Pegasus and Eden here.
Yeah.
He liked that.
You liked it?
Yeah, he liked that.
Oh, nice. Soldier.
Yeah, totally. So we're building something, and I know that there's guys online, and so many guys watch this. Thousands of people watch these episodes every day, and you're seeing the creation of Eden on Earth through His grace, and I mean the Bible.
Yes.
And
that's right.
And you're watching it, and it may seem fantastic or not real to you, and so months will go by, years, because we're only like a month into this. Years will go by, decades will go by, and you'll see the creation, the blessed creation, and you'll try to jump in then. And then you realize you have so much muck in you.
You understand why in the front of Eden, there's the scariest monsters you're going to have to face before you can get in.
Man, you have no idea.
Yeah, there's 4 monsters there designed for 4 trials in your heart. And in Egypt, the code was Anubis, very scary god. Anubis is terrifying, just so you know, because before you go anywhere, after you die, during that time, for those gods, because the order must be the same. That's why the gods of this pantheon have their own gods of that pantheon have their own, because that's just order. That's order bringing order to order, just order. Captain, founder, so, right? Order. It finds itself naturally. Okay? And so, what was the god we were talking about right now?
Anubis.
Anubis. So Anubis, when you die, he's scary. Like he's one of the scariest gods, right? He's the jackal-looking thing. And there's a scale, right? And first, your body's dead. Here comes your heart. He puts it on the scale. Then he puts a feather, or vice versa. He puts the feather on the scale. Okay? He puts the feather on the scale. And then he takes your heart. And then he puts it on the scale. If the feather is lighter than your heart, you're not going to Eden. Right? And in front of Eden, Hosea would tell you, there's a very scary monster with 4 faces. Okay? And that's going to be guaranteed to you if you want to be here, sitting in this room. It's going to be the scariest thing you ever face in your life. as within, so without, as above, so below. So you may not have the eyes to actually see how terrifying that thing is. He's here
Exactly
to
what it is. That's you don't have the eyes.
see that. He's here to say that. And whether you can see it with your real eyes or even with your human eyes, I'm telling you, when you decide to live in a world of peace and perfection, perfect order of God, should you want to go there, right? Even if you can't see it with your insight, you will still know, guaranteed, that you're facing the scariest monster of your life in that moment in your life. It will manifest right there in front of you in some sort of a life situation, right? That real demon has taken on that shape. And if that demon was real and you were going to face it, and it was going to decide whether you get it or not, you would have to have the innocence of a child. It's the only thing that can get past that scary monster. Nobody else is actually allowed in the kingdom. So last night, while there's some real serious shit going on, because if this is scary in a movie, you're in it, the cliff jumping activity he said in the beginning, right? If you saw it in Hollywood, you'd go, oh, whoa, I don't want that shit. But if it's your experience, he used the word subjective reality, your own personal experience, you're experiencing it. You've been in a nightmare, you don't know it's a nightmare, so you experience it like that, but your eyes open, okay? The real nightmare, right? What's really going on inside you for real. So when you see it, that thing, that's the scariest thing to you. You're going to have to face it with the innocence of a child and the faith of a champion wrestler who knows he can't be defeated at the same time. And the parable for that is David and Goliath, right? All the soldiers were afraid of this giant and this little kid. So he's a kid in the story. He comes up and he says, goes to the king, I'll defeat him. And then he goes with slingshot, right? That's called faith, right? And innocent as a child. So now if any other man had faced Goliath, even with weapons and shield, he would have crushed him in a second. But that's why no one faced him. And that's why we call the fallen brothers now here. Okay? That's why we call them so weak. Because we get that, because we know they can't even face Goliath. They have to face cherubim, whatever the fuck that thing is. Okay, please.
Mm-hmm. And I know that there's sorcerers and dark magicians and people that work with entities and energies and things on, and a lot of the guys that watch on the YouTube. I mean, you're seeing this. And when we say the eyes to see or the darkness or that hell or whatever, and I can feel you nodding like, yeah, I know. And I'm telling you, man, there's levels to this thing. Okay, so you're studying AZD tech and all the communication mindset and everything up until this point.
Have it open, girl.
Yeah, man, whatever. And the mindset behind that and, internal mastery, inner game, all that stuff up until this point. Then we start the base operations, which is like we're living with the other guys that are studying this tech. And you're faced with a lot of feedback from other guys that are also studying this stuff. They come from their own points of view. And you got to face a lot of, quote, demons as you do that just to be able to get along in a household for year after year. It's like
we called that at that time social dynamics, and we knew that AZD had some kind of an inner knowing about the workings of it that he couldn't even figure out how he knew. He just knew what was the right way to interact, and he would always tell people, the real power of my game is all the relationships I have everywhere.
And the base operation really emphasized and highlighted that to all the guys that lived with him, that so everything, we'd already seen the demonstration of how to deal with kids, how to deal with homeless, how to deal with some older kids, just references like, the social dynamics to get the 10 is all these other things.
The 10 is a super fine girl for any sorcerer who doesn't know the vocabulary of the other sorcerers.
Oh, yeah.
The ones who use the spells to get the girls, right? The love spells ones.
Yeah.
It's called a 10 is like the perfect girl.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah.
And so then in the base operation, when we started that, and we saw the gap that was created between the guys that lived in a base and everybody that wasn't in a base, even if they were devoutly studying IMC Nation, it's like, bro, you're trying to train for the power
to be devout. You have to get the devil out. So there's a devotee. A devotee is different. Okay, he's out. The devil's out now. He's so committed. He's so committed that he's willing to kill his identity. Okay, so the devotion of those people was never a devotion, because the ones that had it are now still here. How many years later, right? And they would pretend, right? Because behind the word, right? I also study AZD for this many years. I was at this camp. Do you remember this? One time I saw him do this. What about you? What happened to you during this whole fucking time? Where's your testimony? That's your witness to his testimony. What's yours? And everybody knew a lot of things, but nobody could fucking sit around each other as two guys and have a conversation like that.
Yeah, because they're in their own subjective
And it
understanding.
would just be uncomfortable and spacing. And am I sitting alpha? Oh, we're both on camera. He's sitting like that.
They're living through their concepts. They're not just living with them and then calling on the concepts as they're relevant.
I'm trying to be alpha right now.
Yeah.
Because you're in alpha position.
Yeah.
Because at first I was beta.
Yeah.
And then I remember.
I was starting to wonder if you were gay.
Yeah.
It was like,
And you were wondering if I was gay. This is not demons talk. These are the thoughts you would be having.
Yeah.
These are demons talking now.
Yeah.
That weren't here. That they weren't here.
right.
So there was no thought about it. There was no emotion about it. We don't lust the way you do for women because of that lust. This will be weird for you. But it's not that you're homophobic, you're woman phobic.
Yeah.
Because you should know that's a man I just touched. What's wrong with you? You saw a woman in me or in him or in you? That's my brother. We've wrestled. We can be in a 69 position, and it ain't gonna be. I'm thinking about his balls. I'm thinking about dying probably at that moment down there, trying to catch a breath, not a dick. You know the difference. Okay, go ahead. Wow, that's weirdly cool.
Yeah.
Comfortable at the same time. I was on the edge of uncomfort somewhere.
I mean, for the people that had the ears to hear, hopefully the metaphors and the imagery starts to make it more real for you, like what we're saying, you know. So there's this gap that's created, the guys that were living with each other versus all the other guys that were all devoted to all the trainings and everything, even if they were actually coming to every camp and participating with everything. It's just, you can't keep up in the same way. If you have just a few free weights, but I have a whole gym with everything, it's like, how long are you going to really keep up? You've got to invent shit to try to, and
he's a cook in the kitchen with so much ingredients, and he got 5.
yeah, I mean,
and he gets new ingredients every day.
So even one day you come into a kitchen that has all the ingredients, you don't have the experience of it. So now you're a baby again. You don't know what you got to learn again. That's the guy that just recently moves into a base, but he wasn't living in a base. But then another stage of the evolution happens when we come to Vegas, and now 5 bases are all around each other. So it's like, it's not just me, Sultan, Fernando, and AZD around each other every day. Now it's us around each other, plus 12, 15, 20 other brothers every single day.
And in the beginning, we were going out between 17 to 18 deep. Minimum was like 13. It was like Ocean's 13. Oh, where's everybody? It was like that.
Ocean's
Remember? It was like only 13.
Ocean's 5 now.
Yeah, right.
We're like Ocean's 5.
Yeah. We're 20 guys walking in suits
Man,
in Las Vegas, not giving a flying fuck.
no.
Like we've been here.
I was telling people it's like a boot camp every day.
Yeah.
Every day is a boot camp here. And, you know, that has changed recently somewhat, but we're still, it's much more than just a single base of 4 guys that are in interaction with each other, evolving much faster than everybody else. It's 20 guys around each other. Now we're doing business with each other. Everything is so coordinated.
We've already fucked each other's girls at some point in an accident.
Essentially. And
So the one who made the demon decision in the group
oh yeah.
Oh, man.
will forever have to be him.
And we never finished talking about that, but there's a lot more to say on it. Off camera.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's what the people that maybe they're in bases in Phoenix or Los Angeles, so they're still not in bases. Some of the quote officers that are still not in bases, they're around. Oh man, it's like you're walking and we're on this kind of, the level escalators. I don't know what you call them, the tramways. You stand on it and like moves you.
But it's more like a treadmill.
It's
we're in full gear.
I'm saying that we're on this thing that's taking us in the direction that everybody's walking. They're walking. They're trying to run to keep up. We're on this, and then we just stepped on another level that's going even faster.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, what do you got to get a bicycle or rocket ship or something to like keep up?
So we're going into one of these bullet trains like this.
That's what I'm saying.
You ready?
We're stepping up the speed. We're stepping up, and now with being able to apply all these social dynamics around each other with other philosophers that are also studying this tech and looking for inner awareness. But we were still on shifting sands. We didn't have the bedrock to really put your foot down so that we could really push off something. The sand was still giving as we would push forward. Now we have the truth, and we had it a year ago when we did chosen tech, but the vessel,
the cleaner the vessel, the deeper the dye.
The cleaner the vessel, the deeper the dye. So it's like casting seeds on
ourselves over there still.
Man,
every day.
They can take
ourselves, right?
Man.
One argument with one girlfriend, one wrong text, and we would know there's something wrong. That's the level of men we were. We just didn't have the right tech for it. But we would know, it was pretty disciplined, man, when we were in San Jose. You start measuring how we were.
We've been cutting edge since the beginning. We've been spearheading the movement since the beginning.
You can join us too,
bro. It's just and it's going to get to the point after years or decades or whatever that it's just going to sound miraculous. If we keep using the word, we know it is because we're in it, but to the outside it just sounds like
a bunch of guys walking around preaching Jesus' word, performing miracles on his behalf is what it's going to look like to you.
It's going to
be exactly that right now here.
Because it's like a business enterprise, whatever. 20 years later, the guy's a multi-millionaire. You're like, oh, that seemed easy. And then you try to do it and you realize how much work, and you may never even get there because you're trying to do it yourself. And so they'll write books about how we did what we did, so other people can study it, so they can get to where we are. But they'll be writing it from outside in. Yeah, you'll be trying to.
They'll be studying us.
You'll be in the world of concepts and ideas. Yeah, and not in the actual.
So he did martial arts for this time, and it was jiu-jitsu. So you want to do that? Yeah. And he was a champion. Yeah. You want to do that? And they'll be so far off everywhere, and you come back eons later, and you go, what is this happening here? Well, why are you doing that though? Like what? But no, I see a lot of work you put in. A lot of energy. Just tell me why you did that. I go, well, but I mean, it was just so clear, though. It was just so clear, though. What happened to you? I don't give a fuck how tall that building was. How was your kid at home tonight? Judgment. What's that? What's that? What is it? What are you proud of? All peoples of earth, bring your biggest certificate. The one worth the most to you. Put all your pieces of paper with ink up now. Now, tell me who signed that one. Bring him on stage. Who signed that one? Bring him on stage. Anubis, you're coming. Gio. Come on stage. Gio, you're going to be measuring the hearts in a second. Go grab the feather from Hosea. All right. Well, here's the purest feather we could find. The signatures that you sold your soul to of these men weigh their hearts. No, Lord, have mercy. No. There's no time for that now. You have 2,000 something, 3,000 years, 5,000. I don't fucking know. You didn't see it go to shit? You didn't see that every time you moved slightly off that clear, narrow path, just a little bit. You didn't notice what happened. You didn't notice that nobody around you was happy. What were you looking at? Commercials?
Yeah. The
dancing lady with the smile? Oh, so if things were happy because she ate Excedrin or whatever the fuck she ate today? Right on. So everybody just line up real quick. Yeah. Who says they followed my way? Go stand over there. All right. Who knows they didn't follow my way? Burn in hell. Now let's go over here. Who says they followed my way? Anybody else want to leave? Good. Burn now. You. I already know you followed my way. Well done. Okay. That's it. It's that simple. You didn't see it go to shit already, right? You read all the books and you did all the shit, did the meditations, did everything, changed your diet, then counted your calories, and then became vegan, then did ayahuasca, and then held your semen in, and then fucking loved yourself, then loved yourself even harder, then hell loved yourself. And then you realized you were a girl, you didn't really love yourself. So you joined a group of women who loved themselves. And then you all loved yourselves with each other. It didn't work. And then you had a baby and it didn't work. And then you got a job and it didn't work. Then you got a career and it didn't work. And then you, what did you do? What did you do that works? I'm trying to figure out what you did that worked. Oh, God. Well, no, seriously, no, I'm really looking. Can anybody find one thing that works? Okay, so why don't you just wake up for a second? Back to the scientist.
That's exactly the waking up, because as you're talking, I realize it's like they're under anesthetic. They are numb. And
Scientist.
so they don't perceive the dip that happens when they slightly go off the path because they're under anesthesia.
Sounds like alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Alcohol, exactly, the demon. So just to wrap up the point I'm making about the base, people evolve faster. The multiple bases, people evolve much, much faster. The truth. And now it's like if peace and perfection sound desirable, because I wonder what else
your imagination of it.
Yeah.
The peace that passes all understanding.
Yeah, that passes
whatever you could imagine of peace, like jumping over the cliff, even that is good enough right now. But it's as close to the real thing as what he said in the beginning. Mm-hmm. Wait till you get to the edge of the cliff.
And that's the thing. So the guys that are out there lone wolves, you would face all kinds of demons just trying to live in a base with guys. Then you would face even more if you came to like Vegas or where there were multiple bases around. Then as the biblical language comes out and the bedrock becomes revealed, what are you standing on? You're going to have to face more. And if you're not going through that, I don't know how you have convinced yourself that you're facing the same things that we're facing. Look at your life and the proof of it. What is, and just look inside at the peace that you feel. Do you feel peace? And how would you know until you come around someone else that's on that path? Is it going to, what reflections are you looking at that are telling you that that's the state or condition that you're in? You might consider yourself a living master. You don't need anybody else. You are the alpha and the omega, and it doesn't matter what everybody else is reflecting to you. And I don't know, maybe you're that 1 in 100 trillion that's the case for. But come and test it then. Just be around some IMC guys. And the closer you get to the core of the IMC guys, the more it's going to burn. The more you're going to see and feel and perceive that there is inadequacies in you, impurities in you that just can't stand to get that close to the sun. It's not yet the pure thing that can get this close. And as you do that, and then the language becomes so valuable to describe what you're going to go through, because it'll help you get a handle on that. And if the longer you wait, the more, I mean, obviously you've already waited too long and there's so much that it's just, you may never catch up. I believe though, in the case of like Benny, I've been talking to for years.
Good thing about Steve has always had this guy right next to him. I'm glad he believes in you because I don't. I really don't. But thank God you're here. A lot of times we say so-and-so, man, fuck that guy, dude. All right, if you want to talk to him, talk to him. Remember how time
there was a time that Adrian was in that category.
Adrian, he saved you again last night. It said go talk to him last night. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. He saved you the first time too.
It's been 3 times.
Oh well, 3 times you're gonna be betrayed. 3 times you're gonna betray him.
Or no, I'm counting the bet as one of those times. So it's been 2 times.
One more time? No.
So, how did he save me though?
When?
Well, last night we had a good conversation, but what was the?
Remember when AZD said go talk to him?
Yes.
I don't know why he would say that until right now. So he'll say it again. Go talk to him.
Yeah.
Go listen to him. Oh, here. Ready? Go listen to him. This time. There you go. Yeah, you tell him something. Remember what Palacio thing?
Yeah.
Did you tell him last night?
That's what I'm saying. I have more to talk about because the girls we started.
The demons jumped in.
I mean, like, you know,
Back to the first command.
we're there for a reason, and we're you know what I'm saying. I know that we're gonna have the interaction.
There you go.
We had enough interaction to clear it up to a level that you had a great night, I had a great night.
And for you to hear this,
Yes.
now it's that same command, but now you understand it deeper. Go talk to him about that. I had a lot to say, but I knew you had to talk about it. Now go talk to him. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and every other guy. I mean, Benny and other guys that you know, it takes Benny. Like Benny, I've been talking to for years, and
That's all it is.
that's all. Yeah.
So, sugar's too slow.
Like sleepy Rodriguez.
You start just seeing his face. Guys, I feel better. Shanir, what'd you do last night? Like, catch me. Keeping up on it, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck, where you guys gonna be tonight? I'm coming, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, where you guys at tonight? Demon's getting closer to me, right? Yeah. But he's fast.
He's fat, he's strong, he's tough.
Oh, wrestling coach for you.
It's true. I mean, you know, he could take it, so he'll make it through. As far as he makes it through, maybe make it. I can't tell the future, but
The same moment happened last night in the bus, wherever the fuck we were. Then you jumped like a little girl in the conversation, remember? And I said, why do you say that?
Oh yeah.
And then he said something later that was relevant. And I said, tell him you're a wrestling coach, or you tell him or some shit. It's happening again. All right, we can see it. Go ahead.
Cool.
Yeah. Every moment makes sense.
So, you know, there's the old saying, I don't know where it came from, but it doesn't matter how long you've been on the path, it just matters that you're on it right now.
Nice.
And so that's why I believe wherever you're at, whatever condition, I don't care if you're in India or Mongolia or wherever the fuck, if you're brand new to this, wherever, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like,
that was gonna
whatever it takes, because as soon as you're on the path, you're on it, and it's a moment away. Enlightenment is a moment away. I believe that. Maybe I haven't experienced that, but I believe it because so many other things that were hard to believe or did.
Yeah, you really believe in that guy's scripts, huh? That was you changed that word for him when he said India? Yeah. But he tried to save your reputation, right? And I don't want to save your fucking bullshit reputation. But that means he really likes you.
Yeah.
Because he's too righteous to do that. Yeah. So I know that's a righteous choice because it didn't come out cowardly.
Yeah.
You understand that? There was for me to say this to you. Right. And for you to know that he really likes you, see something in you, maybe it's your yoga or India. He's an Indian. He's actually
I see the dedication that he's demonstrated to IMC over the years. I know it's not easy, especially being in that economy and what it's taken and never being in person. If you adjust, here's the economist, the scientist, whatever.
Who would ever think that actually I'm the dick and he's a nice guy? Did you know that? That's what it is, actually. And I would say he knows something about me that you guys don't know when it comes to that. I've said that at some point. I said, no, the guy who's a dick. Okay. He would only follow a bigger dick. Like, he's actually the nice guy. Right? Fuck you, Scripps. But good thing he's the captain and I'm not. Right? Because he gives the orders. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to belabor that point, but I think if yeah, okay.
No, I'm kidding.
I mean,
I'm bullying. I believe I'm doing wrestling to those guys.
Yeah.
Let me give him a little more. Here you go. A little guy in the face, asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I consider Scripps one of the most dedicated guys in IMC.
See? And that was in that language. It's the only time a righteous man would change a word, right? It would be that feeling behind it. It wouldn't sound like he lied. It sounded like he cradled somebody when he did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was like, Scripps, you're a baby.
Because I think the language that, you know, the people that go through the fire here, if you're not here also seeing, feeling, experiencing the evolution and the benefits of your own soul, you're reclaiming yourself. Like you guys, you've lost yourself.
Yeah.
You're living in concepts and words and falsehoods, and
you look like a girl, sound like a girl, feel like a girl, act like a girl,
that's the
move
proof
like a
and
girl,
evidence
think
I'm
like a
talking
girl.
about. So your beingness, and when you see the truth, or when you know the truth, then you see the fake. It becomes more real. When you're in the fakeness.
Hey, don't come around real men. They're dangerous.
Bro, so
no beast in the jungle.
And I know that's
get near us.
I think that's more difficult when you're remote, when you're far away to go through that and be purified. So that's, coming in person, living here, whatever it takes, whatever it takes. That's what it's going to take. I don't know that, and I don't know if it'll happen remotely. So if perfection,
if it can, that's the tech guys.
Yeah,
we thank them for somehow giving you an 8D version of this thing, because it's 8D. You think 3D is good? Bro. This is, I would always say I have an 8th dimension side. You remember I would say that? Yeah. It's like a fucking beehive, right? Oh, yeah. Remember? Yeah. Okay.
So all these points of reference until there's a hologram of AZD that you can take in field with you,
like Michael Jackson. They have a show here right now.
Yeah,
it's terrible. No, I went to it, but I forgot it was a hologram because I didn't have the eyes to see it. When you see a hologram, you can see a hologram, and not Michael Jackson. I went there hypnotized. I saw Michael Jackson. When it was over, I was like, man, that was just like Michael Jackson. I bet you it wasn't. I bet you if Michael Jackson stood there, he would be in the moment responding to the audience, versus that thing would only respond to the audience per the programming was given. It's not reacting.
Sure.
Michael Jackson was with the audience. He moved the audience. You get it? But I couldn't see that. Like I couldn't see anything. That's what they do. They hologram the whole fucking thing. Matrix.
I mean, it's so amazing.
You guys should see these movies again. Then you'll see. There's like 2 good movies, Matrix and Revolver, right now. I don't know any other movie that's like accurate. Those are accurate movies, guys, with shit in them that's probably a little bit twisted here and there, right? And that's actually just the lack of the people writing it knowing it, so that people like us can go, blah, blah, blah. No,
don't look for a movie to demonstrate perfection. It's not going to be perfect.
Not even close.
And, so these are things that analogies or ways of speaking. You've said some of these things before. Everybody's hypnotized. We're dehypnotizing you. It's a hologram, this and that. And the same people that were saying that are now saying with a new level of conviction and enthusiasm that, bro, this is that again. We already experienced that. We're experiencing it again. It's like the guy that goes and does public speaking in front of 10 people. Whoa, dude, that was so much pressure and intensity. Yep. And then he comes back with a story that 1,000 people I just spoke in front of. You thought 10 people, and you're like, you're trying to get a grip because you still haven't done 10 people yet. And then he's like, a stadium of 100,000 people broadcast to 10 million people.
I'm giving the State of Union address for the president today.
That's what it. So the levels of pressure for that, and then the aliens came, and I was giving a speech.
I'm the ambassador,
bro. You don't know the pressure I felt, and you're like, yeah, I've heard all that before because you said pressure in front of 10 people.
That's how a movie about it,
bro. And we're telling you the truth when you see with real eyes. Everybody's under hypnosis and the Matrix and this and that. Like we already said that, but we're saying it a new level now. We're facing the alien level kind of. We're facing God level with that. And I say that, but why I hesitated to say that is because do you think that this won't happen again 2 years from now, 3 years from now, that a new level will come? And it's
same
like
numbers are going to repeat themselves again at a bigger range.
How do I one up the God level now? If I said we're facing God now,
guess what happens after you die,
bro?
The numbers go up or down. Same numbers are going to stay consistent. That's why while you're here, you really got to work on you with the right information. And I'm here. Okay, knowledge of books and practice put together between these 2 men. These are 2 top scientists of Earth when it comes to inner work. And everybody would vouch for that.
There's a difference between the righteous scientist, the devoted scientist.
Do you want to create an atom bomb, or do you want to create something that will protect us?
Well, and that's the product of it. And I'll tell you, in the daily experience, the book learner is delaying his gratification. He's doing this so that in the future there's some benefit for that. And I think a lot of guys are working on themselves so that in the future there's some benefit. You should be seeing the benefit as you're doing it, just like the devoted scientist, he's in his worship for God is doing the science. So the work is fruitful in itself. There's not the future benefit is not in mind. It's this is what it is. So somehow of what you were just saying, working on yourself. Like if you think you're on this path, but you're drudging through it and you're working,
if you're suffering through it the wrong way.
You would know if you're doing it right. The proof would be in the present.
Every day. There's so much change because another veil, because then you have, that's what's called the Holy Spirit in the book, okay? Because you're not doing it anymore. All right. Now, I told these guys last night, be ready to see angels at night. I haven't spoken one lie. Okay. You know what I mean? What if you could see angels? To all the girls that have prayed to demons to see angels, right? What if you could see angels? Then you would have that sight to suddenly turn to everyone and say, look at that man, Adrian, last night. He's perfect in every angle, every angel. He can't be wrong no matter if he tried right now. He's playing perfect chess with that demon. Look at what the actual narration is. And I started to narrate actually what was happening, Adrian, and it made a lot more sense. They'll tell you later, ask them, right? Because it was like you were in the perfect movie and the perfect set with the perfect lighting. I mean, like, that was God showing his sons a movie where their brother became an angel, right? And there's no way someone could have recreated that set, that timing, the lighting, your perfect gestures and movements.
The camera footage from the club. Oh man, if that was only possible.
That's the thing. It's never possible to duplicate God's work. You know, today, hey, it's God. Hey,
God chose me.
as sticky as the demon that you had to battle to sit in Eden was, as sticky as that was, that it would stick to things like a booger. You were a booger. That's what it was. So it's so dirty, man. And as sticky as that was, I told you last time we were walking, right? This motion of yours, nothing can stick to you. And that's that innocence. Whatever. My dick's hard. Watch. My body's lusting for you. Whatever. There's no attachment. Right? You defeat the king by just shrugging your shoulders. Because you've done it to AZD. Right? He's had like a profound like moment with you. And then you've been like, okay, back to what I was saying. And everybody's seen it. And it was like a violation, but I had to let you go. Right? It's like, yeah, okay, King, but hold on. I was saying something. Yeah. Great speech. But I was asking a question, right? But you would do that with well, yeah, that's true.
Innocence of the fire.
Yeah, and then we would all notice it. You wouldn't even notice it, and you would look like what?
I would notice that there's times like that it's happened, but I just never knew how to. In those moments, it came from a place of like not knowing how to properly react and then keep going. Because I always feel like let's say if I do acknowledge you, I feel like we're gonna rear off and
you shrug off what's not important, and that's what you're doing with her.
It reminds me of the early Dragon Ball Z with like Baby Gohan that occasionally was like super powerful and beat everybody, but for the most part was helpless.
Yeah. Hey, that's like you. You'll Super Saiyan at the right moment.
Yeah.
If you're innocent, it will Super Saiyan for you. It won't let anything harm that innocence. Is the thing that can shrug off anything material. Because he has his eyes up. Oh, now I know. You know, I was making the cross today, right? I was inspired. I knew I was going to make a cross for. Man, I swear, bro, I tried everywhere. And then I realized I'm trying. Right? Oh, I wanted to tell you this. Now I'm telling you, like, so I just knew it was a toad. But I knew how I feel about a toad. I would always say if there wasn't a dragon here, there'd be a toad. I mean, I'm here, right? I would say if it's my tattoo, this is for my brother, right? If it was my tattoo, I know it was for God, by the way. Then I would have gotten the toad. So I'm about to create a toad for you, me knowing what toad means to AZD, quite what you would probably think about it. So then I create the toad one, and it's perfect, right? From what I think. But I'm like, how am I going to show it to him? He's going to go, why am I toad? I should have be or whatever, right? It's not that. Anyways, the toad, I would always say, because I have toads all over my fucking room. Okay, it's one of like my spirit animals, but it's really the Holy Spirit showing me what I know. I would say the toad is always in meditation. Even when the fucking bat is picking it up, it's just like, right? It's always looking at God. when I was the toad, that when I would reach the deepest state of meditation in TM, I would go from turtle to toad. But I never went deeper than the toad in meditation. And during that time, there was toads everywhere, and I would see toads everywhere, and the toad was me. And Naruto, I would understand the toad.
Yeah.
Because of a saint.
Yes.
Now you get it?
Yes, it's interesting you say that because that's how Naruto actually became a sage. Is he went to the Toad Mountain and he learned how to use the power.
Yeah, and isn't it amazing that for me, when I saw that, I was like, why a toad out of every goddamn thing does have to be a frog? I wanted to be something cooler, right?
Yeah.
He thought the same thing.
Yeah.
But again, the syntax is perfect when you have the eyes to see it. That's when he got his saint power. And guess what? He was so pure and outcasted. Get that? And then he learned everything just to be accepted. But the power that was just his, outside of the demon in him, that he tamed to some degree. But the one where he was in total control was his saint form.
Yeah.
Isn't that true? And he would be turning gold.
Yeah.
So I got you a cross today, two of them, okay? But it's your demon hunting one. That's what I'm first creating for everybody.
Can't wait, man.
Yeah. So it's ugly because it's supposed to be, right? But it's not ugly. It's hell aesthetic actually. When you know when you know the toad, and now why it's looking out. All right, nice.
So
That's it.
one thing that's so amazing is the address is here, and we're at Mount Eden, and now we're talking about Eden. We've created Eden, and we live at Flying Horse, and that's Pegasus, and that's the horse, the flying horse that the angels would travel on. And back in Campbell, California, and we're always talking about the 1%, 100 men are called, 10 are food for the enemy, 80 make the battle, not or 80 or 10 shouldn't be there, 80 make the or do
Every time AZD would have to do some shit like that, the thought that would go through his head, literally the first time I remember, I'm looking for a man above, right? I'm at the Peace Center. First time I did that video. What I had to overcome somehow, and I didn't know how I was doing it because I was never doing it, right? It was this idea, who the fuck are you to even say this? Like, I'm looking for 1%, and then it would become a fucking chant every day. And every day it would be like, who the fuck are you to say this? And another idea why I shouldn't say this, right? My friends are going to see it. Patata's going to see it, right? And they're going to laugh behind my, boom. And it would just do itself. And then suddenly it would shut off. And then I had no desire to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
And then what would happen in my head? Stay consistent. But I couldn't. But it was every day, man, if you don't do it consistently, it'll look like you lied. I'm like, I just can't do it. And if I do it, I can't do that. But I couldn't move in it, right? There was, but every day there would be, okay, now it's 7 days. If I don't do it for a month, they'll forget. Right? But I still can't fucking do the fucking video, no matter what. I could do the video. I can't say those words. So I can't do a video. Because if I do a video, then why didn't he say that in the beginning? There was all the words. Meanwhile, all the actions were still righteous.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's how I know I wasn't in control.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was there and I saw how I wasn't in control.
Mm-hmm.
That if I was going to do what I was going to do so many times, I wouldn't stand between two guys fighting. I wouldn't do or say any of the fucking things I said.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it would say it, I would panic. And I would tell you guys, I would say, dude, I'm sitting here and I'm saying I didn't have the separation. And I'm saying, and I'm going, why am I saying there's two eyes in here? The syntax is wrong. Which eye is speaking, which eye is saying, which eye is going, no. And which eye is speaking? How can you say, I'm sitting here watching this and I'm saying I'm not? I'm sitting here and it's challenging the environment the way I'm challenging the environment now, knowing what I'm doing. It's seeing an injustice. That fucking Mexican guy, when AZD was like, remember the cholos? He's like, and he's like, what's up? And he's like, hugging the guy, he's like all confused and shit. Man, how do I act to this guy? Right? It was these moments, and then later on, that's why I like to talk about it before. I was like trying to make sense. I was like, and then I would like to, like, whoa, when that happened, I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not even screaming this fucking bear's face right now, dude. What the fuck? I know I could beat him up, but that's like, what the fuck was that? That's a weird ass reaction. I would try to be like, I'm like, man, isn't that crazy? Wasn't that crazy? Now we're like, you see the miracle, bro? Right? Our conversations as men is any miracles tonight. Right?
Yeah.
It's not like, did you get any girls tonight?
But they carry so much weight. There's so much reality and conviction in these words. It's different. It'd be like somebody saying demon and then versus someone knowing there's a demon
Yeah.
and saying
Big
demon.
difference.
So
Usually sorcerers want to see one. That's you're trying really hard.
That part.
Right? Come here.
Mhm.
Right? And you see what a real mirror is. A real mirror reflects your soul, not your face. They even say it's backwards. Right? I remember my ex-girlfriend telling me, do you know these mirrors are backwards? We never see ourselves the right way. I'm like, no, I didn't know that. She's like, you can buy mirrors that actually show you the way you are. I'm like, why would they make it backwards if you could make it forwards? I questioned that. I remember. I'm like, wait, are they saying mirrors that actually show you the way you are? Is it so? Then what the fuck has been going on? And why aren't all mirrors like that? And then we let it go. Right? I mean, I don't care, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, even the mirror is flipped somehow.
Yeah.
Because it's in the code, it's everywhere. Everything's upside down. Just like the show Stranger Things. That's why people are so into it. Because it's the truth. You're just seeing it differently. Right? They're up here, supposedly, and the demons are coming from somewhere else.
They fall even upside down.
The upside down, the upside down. Exactly, the upside down. And so what actually is going on is they're actually in the upside down for real. And they think that's not happening. And they're running away from those demons, but they are in it all the time.
That's a good one.
Yeah. They're saying it all the time. People are just being brainwashed to see it a different way. It's in the book. People just are brainwashed to read it a different way. The guy could say the white man's the devil after reading Jesus because a stone was found with a writing on the fucking stone, bro, like a fucking caveman, right? First, God wrote it in stone and gave it to Moses. Moses went out and preached it. Then I don't know where he put the word. And at some point he said, I'm going to put it in your heart. Because every time I write it somewhere, it gets interpreted somehow. So first, I'm going to put it in your heart. Now, let them write it. And you'll know it. Because they can't hide it. Because these words will be true forever, it says. Things come and go, but these words will last. The proof is when men use it, men, women, children heal. So do enemies if they stick around. Or they vanish. But they can't challenge you anymore because they know that you know, right? And everybody doing wrong knows that you know you're doing wrong and you justified it. So they know that. And they check your heart and it's clean, right? When you walk up, it's what happens when we walk up to these devil places. At some point, Anubis will say, it's all right, brother. Right? Because you keep killing yourself. And you show up ready. And for a while, Anubis is like, AZD, Anubis, what's it like standing guard? When are you going to get a raise? It'll work out for you. That becomes a relationship where everybody else is afraid of that man when they walk up. Regular men have a different relationship with bouncers forever than we've ever had, right? That's Anubis. Eventually, you get to a point where Anubis says, just go in, right? And then you feed Anubis. And then you make a joke, but it's not a joke. That man over there, he's a drunk, right? That man, he's got all the money. But that means something different to Anubis than the doorman. He's the fake version of Anubis, right? To Anubis, if I said, Anubis, that guy in line, one of my brothers has a lot of money. Anubis knows I wouldn't talk about money. Talk to him. He's in charge. He's God tonight. Yeah. Every man's in charge of himself because he's been led by God. Then it's what we talk about. 20 of us walked through a casino. Him and I would keep commenting on it at random times. Like, did you see how it moves like an organism without anybody? It stops at the right time. And then when people join it, they join it. And all the greetings are happening in the joining. When it's time to split, it splits, and then it comes right back together again.
It's the thing, you wouldn't know any impurities. It's I see so much from physics and electromagnetism and
Scientists love.
how things organize and move together, and evolutionary systems and ecology and things like that. Like, you wouldn't know how off you are until you try to join the group, and then you realize that your inner magnetic field or whatever, your spirit doesn't jive with it, it can't mold with it. It's repelling, or it just, so there's an inner calibration that comes with that. And yeah, that's, the two last profound things that I just want to say before I get off is, the whole 1% is called that 1%, that 1 in 100, that
Well, we're looking for one man.
we're looking for that one man. 100 men are called, 10 are just shouldn't even be there, 80 are food for the enemy, 9 make the battle, but that one,
99 don't count.
that one will bring everyone home.
Nobody wants second place. Remember when I said that? So the true champion,
Yeah.
when he wins silver, I said it here. I said, what you don't know about a champion, a real champion, is second place. He doesn't want to say, I'm Olympic silver medalist. You go Olympic silver medalist, he goes Olympic silver medalist. The guy who goes Olympic silver medalist is not a champion. He is an Olympic silver medalist. He's right. A champion there, Batata. How you do, Batata? No, okay. What happened? I got first in this, silver in that. What happened? That's great. No, the last guy, it's just time, this and that. Next time. Me, what? I just want to be good enough to compete at that level that you're in, right? Gold, silver, you come back, like head down, like, I think, let's train. Like when you guys come back tomorrow, let's train. No day off. Okay? Why? Silver. And go to get silver. You got what I'm saying? He never shook anyone's hand, Batata, to not beat them, just so you know. That was the difference between him and AZD. And AZD just went up to a certain level. Decoded what he needed to decode to come back and be able to say, wow, there's a warrior for real, right? And I would always say, there is one samurai I know it's Batata. Remember I would say that? Mm-hmm. This is why. It didn't matter if this is a good testimony for him, it was a Navy SEAL that looked like Guile in Street Fighter, who came in, twirled his knife like this. Like a movie, put it in his boot so fast, bro. That was my shit. That's how I got my fucking fingers cut off, doing that move. This motherfucker took off his fucking army boots, came in like Guile, like the green tank top, ripped, like this. Like, I can pour them if I try. He just comes in with a fucking, I'm like, what the fuck? Dolph Lundgren, you know who Dolph Lundgren is, right? But he's an actor, but like more, like this motherfucking G.I. Joe walks in, right? In Batata's Academy, he walks in like, dish, dish, dish. Batata's not there. It's me and the other guy. Comes in, he trains, man. Well, I mean, I did everything I could. He just shook me off like it was nothing. And then he smushed me. Right? But when he went to take off his shoes, I was watching him walk. And I'm like, this motherfucker is so confident, right? He goes to the back. He takes off his boots. And then he goes like this. And he had one of these twirly knives. And he goes, shh. And it goes right in that. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Right? What the fuck, bro? Where'd the love go? 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, though. Shit. He comes back. So Batata's not there. Next time Batata's there and Batata hears what happened in the academy. I show up to the academy, Batata's already warming up. So he's always late. He's like sweaty. Doing the wrestling take on by himself. Run around. He doesn't say hi. I walk in. Oh, it's fucking serious in here, and there's nobody in here. It's going. Doesn't say anything. Okay. The guy comes in. Hey, boy, how you doing? I'm Batata. Yeah. Train today? Gi or no gi? Oh, the guy's already kind of like, what the fuck's this little like a demon now, right? I'm just like, I could feel the guy just for a little bit, but he's a super soldier. Why? He was a Navy SEAL. And he had a little bit of vacation in Santa Cruz. I mean, he said some cool, crazy shit, really. And he was just here because he was a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, whatever. He was a fucking super soldier. I've seen the serum. I fucking trained with the guy. I had full armbar on the guy like this. Yeah. I'm going like this. I'm giving everything I fucking got. And he's holding his arm and he's talking to the other guy. And I'm going, bro. I'm telling you, I'm cranking it, right? because I knew I couldn't hurt him. As he's telling the guy, he goes like this. He lifts me up, bro, and he goes like this. And I'm sliding off of his arm, trying to hold on to his, shooting my leg up. All right. And he shakes me off. And he got side control, like cement on me. This guy's gonna kill me. Right? This guy's gonna fucking murder me right now. He's no murder. He's just like a fucking bear. I don't even know what the fuck he was. I got no animal. He's like a beast, right? So Batala warns out the guy, hey, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. I noticed the guy's a little slower in his motion. Now I can see what happened. He was thinking about that interaction. Some doubt. Batala, warm. Everybody train by yourself today. Okay? He sits fucking knees down. He's going, right? He says to the guy, hey, bro, warm up. Warm up. Right? And he's, bro, you know, all the guys can feel how this is. You get it? As soon as you hear the stories with real eyes and real ears. He's like this, right? Okay, ready? Okay. Hey, bro, listen. Do everything. Heel hook, everything. Slam. Go hard, bro. Don't hold back. Okay? Okay. Oh, don't hold back, okay? This little brown looking, his name Batata means potato. Little guy, that's his nickname, and he's okay with it.
Okay.
Right? I mean, we call him Batata. His name is Sandro Batata. Sandro Santiago. This little brown thing is looking at this giant thing, like Kratos and that monster we're talking about, right?
Hmm.
Oh my God. They fought. You should not hear these sounds in a jiu-jitsu school, right? Like slams and yells and running into walls. I mean, they fought. And then Batata caught him with his little loop chuck, right? His little demon hand. He actually got a little demon hand. His fingers are fucked up. But if he gets a hand around you, bro, it's over. So then he started beating him again and again and again and again. The guy got more frustrated. Now the guy's he's losing his shit, and it's getting uncomfortable. Like watching it is uncomfortable because two men are fighting, and one's getting his ass kicked, and he's a super soldier, and the other guy is there to kick his ass, and not give him no mercy at all. No mercy, that guy. Like he'd fuck you up. No 0 to 100 in a 0.01 if the wrong thing was said in the can. So anyways, let's wrap it up for all the men here. He demolishes this guy. And then Batata will never end the match. I mean, the fight. And he looks at the guy, he says, keep going. And the guy was like, yeah, one more. Don't say that. If you're going to keep going, go again. Right? That's a bitch. See that? The answer is yes. This means give me one more chance to try to see if I can. One more for what? Are we fighting or not fighting? He goes, one more. They go this time into Yogi Chris. He was already beating him up, but this guy was done. Grinding his face, fucking just elbowing his fucking face, doing this shit, getting him in position, not finishing him, squeezing, letting go. But man, he mauled this soldier, right? In fact, I got so uncomfortable, I left. I couldn't watch people. I never liked watching people get it. I left. So the next day, I heard all the stories, and he loved talking about it, and we still talk about it. So I remember that time he fucked up that fucking Navy SEAL. Man, that was the best. All right, what time is it? Wow, man.
Yeah, so
let's talk about it.
Well, that era of the 1%, that's where that story started, and
But that was 1%.
You know, yeah,
So
and
that's
just
what that is.
you know, being chosen because you choose to be and choosing to be that 1%. And then fast forward to lately, and we're talking about demons and spirits and some of the quotes in the temple class. I think it was temple class yesterday, and considering the Holy Spirit as a spirit. It's another, I don't know why I wasn't thinking of it like that, but thinking of it as, I mean, you could be possessed by this demon or that demon or this spirit or that spirit, but unclean spirits or whatever, but you have a Holy Spirit in you.
I want to try that. You are possessed by those things. Not you could be. You are possessed by those things. That's why you suffer.
And so considering myself possessed by the Holy Spirit and how that all relates, because from the 1% we were chosen. We chose because we chose to be.
Wow.
But maybe we didn't choose, because the
We never
idea
had a choice.
of
We were created by him for a purpose.
man,
He chose.
the reason exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Hey.
That's what I'm saying. God chose me.
Hey,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
know what? We're sitting here. You couldn't even get here. He chose me. Now you're chosen too. So if you are, what happens if I'm chosen too? I don't know. Execute it. Do the action. Execute it. If you're chosen to, right, then start a new identity by stop creating and let God genesis his plan so that you can begin to execute. So you get.
Mhm. So that revelation to me about the Holy Spirit in me, and then with this other revelation of perfection, I see it. I keep seeing it. It's like this yellow matrix.
You were the perfected technical guy.
Well,
If anybody could see it, you could see it.
I just,
Right? We know that about him. We all knew whether you played the guitar or didgeridoo or fucking put a dribble up your ass, you had the perfect technique for it. You knew how to do it exactly by the book. And that was actually what was so cool about him next to me. He always tried to do it by the book and it never worked. He had to acknowledge there was something beside the book that this guy was doing. And you know how Adrian was like stuck to me like a booger that one night? But yeah, his light was drawing me to him last night. See the difference? I want to hang out with him. Whatever I is. Because when I said that, I again realized that I didn't choose my seat. It was the wrong seat for me. Why am I sitting here? I commented, what the fuck? I'm gonna move over there. Hey, what are you guys doing over there? Boom. Right? So I didn't choose it, but it chose it perfectly, right? What we're talking about, boogers. As much as that booger, you were
perfection.
oh yeah. Okay. As much as boogery that was, his perfection was the same booger. Right.
It's what had gotten me through to the point when I came here, you know. And to be clear, I mean,
got you through to get to here.
The idea of like all the technical stuff never worked. It worked in a sense that obviously there was success. Okay, it could be measured from other people.
It was
say
not
that
a
was
miracle. And AZD was doing miracles.
I didn't have peace, and so
Whatever.
whatever.
Even the effects, because you knew all the techniques. You had books on it. He wrote books on it. He wrote books. If you want to study AZD's technique, this man has a library of books only for sale, not donation. Okay, those are sold. That knowledge is sold. Okay, but any lecture and all that is a donation. So that because that's knowledge. If you want knowledge on how AZD did it, he decoded the whole damn thing like a fucking scientist. He was like Tony Stark when it came to it, right? And he built that Iron Man suit, and then one day I said, "Come here and guard your ass guard." Right? Don't climb the faggot rainbow. Climb the 7 angels rainbow that Jesus descended on. Okay? You see that Iron Man suit you got? Let me show you who was inside the Iron Man suit. And that weak heart that you tried to pump with that mechanical shit wasn't a weak heart. It was a devil, demon. Because actually, are you ready? That's Odin, the god of gods, and he is your father. You know how I know? He's my father too. And I've always called you brother. So now, you remember that Iron Man suit? Oh man, that tin can. You remember how Tony Stark was doing that? What element was he missing? God. Answer. Answer given. So now go back and redo the formulas, knowing that the Holy Spirit can be measurable now by an instrument that science, I'm not going to say it hasn't measured it yet, because that's where L. Ron Hubbard came. Okay, but it's not for the world to know for whatever reason yet. Okay, I know that for sure.
It's amazing, you know, people, scientists, mathematicians, they construct all these theoretical formulas and they try to understand reality, but they're missing the underpinnings, the foundations of things. So they keep making more and more clever equations and formulas or whatever to try to get to the truth, but you're missing the core, main, primal ingredient of this thing. And so the 1% we chose because we choose to be. Then a few bases later, we arrive at a place, and we're always talking about the Spartans, and we arrive at a place called 300 Union. And that's, whoa.
How did I get it? Remember? I would say,
Oh,
dude.
man.
And I would always say live there. Then I'm like, this happened, that happened. And then she's driving. I'm like, there's no way, there's no way, there's no way. It picked it for me.
You know, it's like it might seem like a coincidence or random or something like that. It's too good. It's too aligned with everything that you're saying and that we're all going along with, and we're like, we believe this. And then 300
Witnesses have to be there.
Then we come to Vegas, and we're at Pegasus and Eden while this is happening, and it's just like so.
And then we have Narnia too now.
And Narnia, right?
And fits the fucking perfect story, which is the only true story, which is why it's called the greatest story ever told.
That's what I'm saying. This idea of perfection. I see this perfection. It's like if you ever had a mesh screen and you know, like you're receiving something, some food or whatever, or a mesh screen on the window or something. And it's like at some point, some of the wires, they get moved off to the side. It's no longer like a perfect grid. But when you first get it, it's like perfect. You know what I mean? That's what when the Father and I are one, I see this perfect grid, this perfect matrix. It's yellowish, gold.
You know the numbers they show for Neo? He's seeing it now.
And I'm seeing the devil is in your own plans, your own agenda, and your own mental constructs that start bending the wires off of perfection, and you're creating your own reality. And it seems real to you, but that's where the struggles come in. So it's like
truth, as I say, the truth. Let's say you have this golden web, right? Which is the truth, the actual creation and the actual plan.
Right.
Now, ready? You with your goals begin to pull on this perfect creation because you want to create a business, let's say, right? Now, you see what you just did? You bent what was. Now, what was will always be.
Right.
That's God. Now, that's still here. Now you're here. Now, this is going here and you're missing it because this is now in the way of you being in it. Right? Now, this goal with it comes many other goals. Watch what you have to do. You literally have to pull from creation with your words will create your reality and your ideas. You're now going to insert an idea into this golden perfect web again and pull an idea that fits this destruction that you did of that. And now you have another demon. This is the biggest demon. That's your purpose, your goal, your dreams, the love of your life. That is the big devil in your life. That you're going to have to face. And that is going to be scary because then you have to give up everything. And that's how you know there's a man of God. He gave up everything. It was worth it. Everything. He gave up every relationship, mom and dad, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, child. He actually doesn't have any other relationship. That's why you can be sure he's going to make the right decision because no longer can any human correct him, but he seems to be so correct all the time. Well, because now he's being corrected by the Father. And only a father should correct the child. Well, my girlfriend was there last night. She brought her child. First time I met the little boy. And when she corrected him, I put him to the side. I said, let me teach you something, how to talk to children. I know a lot. I said, listen, okay? Listen. Don't be angry when you talk to him. And then she turned around and she was like, do you want? I said, no, stop. Don't do that either unless you want a child who's a faggot. She understood it. She goes, well, how am I supposed to do it? I said, let him keep doing it. Let's see if he stops. He's fucking around with shit he shouldn't fuck around with. Right? He looks back, so I know he's aware. Keep going. Nothing has happened. There's still no danger. I'm in present time. Nothing has happened. You understand? It's okay that that's being touched. It won't hurt him, but if it gets hurt, whatever the hell it is, no one cares. So, watch. What's his name? Whatever. So-and-so doesn't turn around. So-and-so doesn't turn around. Don't do that. Watch. So-and-so pauses, turns and looks at me. I go, no. He looks at his mom. I go, don't look at him. No. Looks at his mom. She says he's about to cry. I said, no, he's not. I let him go. He turns around. He's looking at the thing he was touching. He's stuck there. He's looking at it. I'm waiting. He reaches again, right? Starts going. Now I've already told him no. So now say his name. He turns right away. No. Starts to walk back. She starts to being nice. No. Okay. Then he goes and sits down. Then she gives him this whatever puffy thing is. I'm watching ministries online. She tried putting cartoons 3 times. Kid was everywhere. I got this weird looking rabbi with fucking hair like this, shaved hair. He's talking about Jesus healing, right? He's speaking well, right? You know when he's right, you know when he's wrong, because the word is in here. So I like listening to him no matter what. It could be the devil preaching, but I hear the word. So, and it seems to be the best thing on TV. I'm looking for something to watch, right? At least I know that is that, right? So anyways, so then I put this on. She's doing whatever she's doing. She comes back. The kid is like this. In this little fucking black chair I have, right? He's like 1. She says, can you put a cartoon for him? I go, why? She goes, he likes cartoons. I said, look at him. What are you trying to fix right now? She goes, he loves cartoons. I said, he's watching the gospel. He's quiet. And she goes, oh, okay. Right? The rest of the time that played, and he sat still over there the whole time. Isn't that amazing? Like she's not seeing what's there, right? I'm saying that for whoever. This is for girls too. A lot, right? Okay. It's our show today. Let's talk about it. This is the ministering. This is a scientist of God testifying that God is true. And if you're a scientist like Scripps, Dr. Scripps, I would call him. I gave him the title.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Right? If you're Dr. Scripps and you also have PhD, then you see the work that he's put in as a doctor that I gave him because I saw that he had put in that much work, right? And so all the scientists, he's speaking to you today. Okay, go ahead.
So it's just amazing about these synchronicities
I hate
and the
scientists.
bases and the perfection and God's plan. And as you make your own agenda, and it creates a castle made on sand and you'll be facing. So there's been impulses in you, demons in you that has created these agendas for your life that you've been building on. And so you don't realize the demons that you'll face when you die to that old life and all those old creations. You think it's just, what's the pain of giving up a house or giving up a business or whatever?
Those are words on the paper.
There are entities in you that manifested in your actions to create those things, and letting go of that.
That house as within, so without. That house as big and grand as you see it, just see a demon that big. As much energy as you have to give to that house for it to live off of your energy, the work you do is your money, energy to go, the work to get your credit, whatever the fuck you got to do to get that, the bigger, the better, right? The more your life is used to make that house real. Now, I'm going to tell you something. When you die, that demon will advertise with its agents, real estate agents, who have zero value in life, right? I'm trying to sell a house, and she's got all the fucking jargon and all the fucking papers, and now I'm telling her what to do. Drop the price. Why? Too long. I'm not trying to make money. I'm trying to sell a fucking house. You're trying to make money. So now the conversation on text has changed. Drop the price. That's it. That's all I said. And then now my mom is being nice and trying to help her. It's like, sell the fucking house, agent. That's your name, agent, right? A real estate agent. There must be nothing real about you if you have to describe yourself like that. That's not a Bible thumper.
Yeah.
If you have to use all those fucking words to convince me you're a real estate agent. What's estate, by the way, sir? Where's the word come from? What is that about? What's the spirit of the word estate? What are you real agent for? Oh, here's a old real estate agent.
Retired.
Retired. Yeah. Definitely retired.
So estate is rank, standing, condition.
Rank. I'm gonna give you a real
Dang.
ranked standing condition in society. Because if you don't have a house, you ain't got shit.
Dang.
You know? All these homeless people, they ain't got shit, but they got the freedom to be anywhere today. And the guy with that rich house, he can't be anywhere today. And if he is, don't follow him. You don't know where he goes if he's got that much time with that much money. Then he's not working for it. Right? I don't want one penny that I don't work for. Why would I want that? Can someone convince me why I would want to make money off of your soul? Why? If someone can sit and convince 10 men why he should be in their team, if that's how he thinks, right? Get out of here. Okay. Anyways, real estate agents and agents, they're all agents. They're all agents, just like the Matrix. Remember the agent goes into everybody? The agent can take any form.
Wow.
And he's just waiting until someone wakes up, the agent shows up. Until then, it's a soulless body running the program. And I can show you how to wake up the agent. In a girl in a strip club for sure. Other places I can do it, I don't trigger in other places. The safest place to wake up the agent is in the strip club.
Interesting.
Isn't that funny?
Mm.
That's where you could see the demon do. Adrian, you sleeping? You remember last night when I asked you, does a human woman do that move?
Yeah,
You remember that?
I remember.
Right. So we're in a place where a woman can get down to your crotch on her knees, put her hands like this in the underwear and bra, and suddenly do this to you.
Yeah.
Splash her tongue like this, move her head like a snake, and give you eye contact while she does that around your dick. So, well, definitely human girls don't act like that. I mean, Eve. Where's your manager? Why are you doing that? What are you doing? Are you licking my cock this way, this way, this way, this way, this way? Is it on my balls? Right? How does that feel? Here's a better way. Stop slashing your fucking tongue, you demon. Right? Why are you eye contacting right now? Look where you're going. I want you to bump something with your teeth. Fangs. I'm talking fangs. Watch out for the fangs when you have your cock in the mouth. Right?
Scary.
It's like my dick. I better move your heart a little bit. You better be someone who's following me because I'm righteous.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not sucking my dick. You're about to bite it off. Right? Someone cut off a man's dick. It was on the news. Remember? John Bobbitt. Was it Bobbitt? Is it John Bobbitt? Imagine it's John Bobbitt. Yeah, I think it's John Bobbitt. Look it up. He was all right. So now, first of all, we should question the story. And if you don't believe it, look it up right now. This man was sleeping. While he's asleep, she cuts off his dick.
Wow.
He continues to sleep, bro.
I think, didn't she rubber band it?
Then drove it and tossed it out the window. This is on the news. At what point does this become a fairy tale? If you're sleeping and someone breathes on your dick, you're gonna turn around, okay? She cut off his dick with a scissor like this, guys, in the middle of the night. What is that on the news? First of all,
Yeah.
right? And how did that happen? Let's just stop right here. Little interview. Is there any man whose dick could be cut off and sleep and not know the next day? Where's the blood? Maybe there's no blood. What?
Kippy.
He doesn't have a dick. I said any man. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. If you took offense, then you're being a bitch. Can you imagine? And then she was like, I ain't flushing this because I would have flushed it. Go find it in the fucking sewer. She got in the car. What song did she play? Right? What's that Carrie Underwood song? He slashes the tires and breaks the windows, right? You know that song?
Wow.
Come on, guys. Fuck, you don't know anything.
This is that one where it's like making my way downtown.
Does that sound like slashing tires and making my way? What are you talking about? It's absurd, bro. No, it's not.
It's not her.
That's Benny. He would know. Is it that one?
I don't know.
Making my way down. Hold on. It's worth it. You don't know this? I bet you if I click as artist, it'll be the top song.
Just Mariah Carey, you said?
No way, is it the top song? If this is the first song that showed up on Spotify, it's crazy because it's very old. But maybe it's not.
Wow.
Let's see. No, maybe it's not. Is it? We're gonna do a little social experiment. Social dynamics with a scientist. Who knows God? Why isn't it connecting?
He's probably slow down where the beach launch and just probably kidding just this. The guy in your song, the little because you can't shoot away skin. He's probably up behind where the people stay showing her that the shoot a combo.
What are we doing? Okay. How can it says letter seats? Get it. There's more. He might be.
She's probably singing the song, trash visions, she's making.
That's you, bitch. White trash version of Shania karaoke. She's that.
And he's a million guys want me to
I don't know. That's her nails. That's her nails. Listen. It's your soul. Listen what she did. Bashed his head. That's his head. You're not even gonna walk. All right, I'm gonna make a song today. Ready? I found that bitch cheating and I showed up. Right? I seen a car outside and then I shot them tires out. Right? And then I fucking took my knife and I went in her seat, right? And I carved my fucking name in it. And then I sidekicked the fucking lights as hard as I could, right? Maybe that bitch next time knows before she cheats. Let's put it out. Alpha. Okay. I'm both. Okay. All right. Continue outside this.
Well,
This big dialogue. We have 18 o'clock time.
and
Is that 18? Yeah.
what's so fascinating is, I talk about like building a castle on sand, and you have your own plans. You're pulling yourself away from perfection and your own illusion. You're never away from perfection, just on your own mind about it, because it's at hand. It's right here now. And what I was saying, like all the work and everything I was doing, trying to perfect everything and build business and whatever, but I wasn't at peace. I didn't have peace. And so I say that to everybody that's, remote or in other countries or other places, just not here. Not even, you could be in Vegas and you're not here. And
You got to be in hell. In the city of
that's what I'm
sin.
saying.
To face your sins.
If you think you have peace, you are comparing yourself to demons. You're comparing yourself to other inhabitants of hell.
Gross.
If you think you have peace, like stop looking at the scum of the earth and comparing yourself and think you're a little bit better. Come to Eden.
You're just as bad.
Come to Eden. This is your nature. Your nature is here. This is how we're living naturally. And more we're
And we have everything you want and more. That's a challenge. I'm a challenger.
Bro.
Okay, look. I, as a man, will have everything you've ever desired from women and things you can't even imagine. And I will beat you at getting women. How's that?
But keep doing your plans to catch up or find your own path.
Or buy my books and find out what my plan is so you know how to counter it. Because he has it, but it's only for sale. Because I don't want to give you my real strategy. What you find out what my real strategy is, you'll never be able to catch me. Catch me if you can. So now, if your God is so powerful, like Elisha did, then here's the challenge. Come to Vegas where there's ample women and ample environments, right? And show me that you do better with women, which is all you want. Scripts. I mean, why is he doing that? Because he wants to be a shaman? What if shamans didn't get bitches, but fucking priests did? Would he be a shaman or a priest at that point? I mean, if priests were sexier,
Right.
would he choose still shaman if he was a shaman?
Scripts, what would you choose?
No, don't answer. Don't answer. Because then we'd have to ask you 1,000 questions.
He was for a long while.
Okay,
It looks like he
anyways.
might have hopped off.
Yeah. Hop.
Yeah, he just bunny hopped off. Yeah.
At least he didn't slither off because he's not strong enough to slither. A bunny would be good. It's like a little bunny. Cute bunny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're talking about. Go ahead.
But the essence of it is, comparing yourself to the wrong kinds of people if you think you have peace. But I get it. You don't have a reference for it. And, so we dangle everything in front of you as the enticement, the women, the lifestyle, the clubs, the city that we live in, the house that looks so great. I mean, we do the streams and the party and everything. And it's like, it's here. And it's just like Maharishi would teach, like or all of the sages that you would talk about that teach, like the universe is on your side. God is on your side. Tapping in is not the right way to say it. It's forgetting
you don't tap into heaven. You can tap into other places.
You forget, you forget your fakeness to tap in with God. But even that doesn't sound right. So it's you remove the fake, you get real with it. And when you're in the Tao, when you're in this perfect matrix and you become one with the matrix of it, you're making the right decisions like it does. It's in your favor. The current, you're going with the current.
And you go with the flow finally, but you just don't know what the flow is. The flow is that way and you're showing that way. That's what takes all that effort. You keep saying go with the flow. Then why is it when you go with the flow, it hurts? When you go with the flow, it's no effort. You're with the flow. The flow will take you, right?
And you know what hurts when you're going with the flow is when you're resisting the flow.
Exactly.
So the flow is here.
And they keep saying that they study the flow. Dr. fucking Flow is on. Dr. Flow is on.
Just like everything that you study, you need an example. You need someone that's living it, doing it, breathing it. That can be the example. Or you're trying to build a bridge there with your logic and your science and whatever. And, I've heard, I don't have an example in mind, but I've heard many stories of the person that trained for many years. I think you told one the other day about a martial artist that got all the techniques mastered for decades, then realized that he had to forget all of that, that he reached enlightenment at some point. And then he's looking around and everybody like, why can't you all do this? Like, forget those techniques. I was wrong. I told you wrong. Like, do this.
There's a real master who can shoot the arrow without the bow. Did you know that? Robin Hood. Right? Did you know that when he needs a bow, it appears in his hand? Because in that moment, God would want a bow to appear so you could go back and study more. So you can figure out how to imagine bows and create particles and do that where when it would be right, you would just bring up your hand and a bow would be there. That's called faith. And if not, you won't bring up your hand.
That's the difference between atom bomb and, just for example, in the story Gandhi. It's like you could do your science and your engineering and build better and better weapons and take over and conquer and become the leader so that you can enforce world peace. Or there's this other route, the spiritual route, that through the cooperation and the mutual understanding of everybody and the bringing to righteousness and the right choice through your example of it, a whole nation can stand up and create a similar effect, but much better. It's like making the $1 million righteously versus making the $1 million scandalously.
And that's hard to measure. They don't know what righteousness feels like.
Because you're just measuring the dollars.
Yeah.
You're measuring the external thing.
Like when he said righteously, there was just... It didn't land, guys.
Right, okay,
and that was the most important word in that.
Man, with no heaviness.
If he had said everything else, right, he could exchange all those words. But the moment he said righteously, he meant something that is what you're seeking, that is your birthright, isn't it?
It's a cleanliness. We use these other words to describe it. It's a cleanliness, a purity. It's a lightness. There's a conviction, but it's effortless conviction. It is like when you. Man, it's like when you speak, there's like a way, like the David in the slingshot, when you just put in just a little bit of force and it's like that propels everything because it was already going in that direction. You just add a little guidance to it. So it's like the power and the will of God is here and you bring voice to it that it's a very minimal effort. But because you're in the Tao, it creates such a big effect. And that's, for example, Gandhi. Because I've heard different things about Gandhi, I'm just using it as an example.
So that was what they would know.
Right. So in more modern times, like, created that piece for his world and everything around, but without doing the stepwise scientific mechanical engineering sort of route to it.
Maharishi would be probably the
Maharishi also exactly. Just he didn't do it in that way.
He just talked about his TM and yoga technique and the spirit.
Man. And the thing is other people that will go that spiritual route but they'll be doing it the mechanical way. They're doing their spiritual route mechanically. So they're building better and better techniques and looking for more and more powerful powers like the sorcerer to get to that final stage of enlightenment where you let go of all of that because it's God's will. And we see everybody, they get caught up in that is materialism. Getting stuck and attached to ideas is materialism. Don't think it's just something that you could pick up like this. You're attached to something because this is, just as you would teach and in alchemy and everything, I'm experiencing this in my mind. Like it's my senses, and I have a picture of it. If I was blind, I wouldn't have a picture of it. I just feel the weight of it. Like it's through my senses, I experience the material world. So through your senses, you're experiencing your ideas and you're attached to them.
Matrix.
And you're attached to them. So the righteousness, doing it righteously is none of that. It's not attached to the outcome, to the plan, to the agenda, to the sense, to the money, dollars, to the digital numbers in your account, to the car, the house.
I have a question here for you. Everybody in every science and field, I'm willing to bet, would agree to the next statement, but then I have a question after. We would all agree that anybody who understands these words would say, yes, I want to kill my ego. We don't know we would ever listen to anyone that said, build your ego, build your ego. It's like it's kind of forbidden to say that, even in as stupid as a person could be. If you say, would you like to kill your ego? They say yes. So we can all agree that's a goal, no matter what you do in life. Now check this out. What if the ego, right? You know where I'm going?
Well, no, but
what if the ego, how would you say it, was you, supposedly? Like, you have to no longer identify as you have been with everything. That's a kill, by the way. You could get sick and be in a coma or whatever, but it's still breathing, all right? It still has to be fed, even in a coma. But to kill it, the crucifixion, to kill it, no more life in it, right, is much more difficult. And that's the right word. It's fucking difficult than just changing your job. Now you have a righteous job.
You know what it feels like to be wrong? Like when you think you're right, like you were so sure you're right. You're telling someone, they're like, no. And you're like, no. And it's like, it comes to light an hour later, a day later or something. They were right. And you're like,
Every time you argued with me before.
that's not every time.
Except the $5 they didn't want.
No, that's not.
But,
are you willing to be wrong about everything now? That's dying to your old life. You were wrong, even if you were getting right results. You did it wrong.
because you knew you were never right. You see it for the first time, how wrong you've actually been.
And that's painful for your ego,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
you as your ego to face. Because like what I was thinking when I said, you have built an ego around killing your ego. You've built an ego of this. The purpose of this ego is to kill my ego.
But then you could actually play with the ego then, like we did. That was us playing with our ego like a yo-yo. Ding, ding, ding. Like nothing happened outside of that. We joked about our ego, right? I poked it. He poked back. We both know what's happening and we moved on. That actually happened right now, right? You're supposed to poke fun at your ego, if anything. You are the joke. Your whole life is a joke to a man who could see you. Your tits are a joke if you're a woman. Your ass, isn't it a joke, Adrian? Did you see the joke last night? What the fuck, right? Okay, if you're a woman, your goals are a joke. Your passion is real, but it's a joke what you say. You're not passionate about singing. You're not passionate about dancing, or you are passionate for the definition and root word of suffering in it, right? You are passion, right? So that's why. So you always whatever. Okay, so anyways, you're just wrong, okay? You're just wrong, and you need to be told you're wrong, right? And you need to hurry up. Okay, whatever that means, if you do need to hurry up, okay? So nothing makes sense in the world anymore, right? To anyone anymore. Nothing makes sense to anyone anymore. Everyone knows it doesn't matter what they say on the news now. Everyone knows nothing that they're saying is real. And we know what a fool someone is who would tell us something was real on TV, right?
Right.
So that just means everything has been fake. Now we're seeing all the celebrities are fake. They were all pedophiles.
That's what, so if you were in hell,
Yes.
like in hell,
Because you are.
yeah, if you were in hell, like literally, like legitimately in hell, would you believe what's on the news? Would you believe what somebody tells you?
Would you believe that woman is that good looking?
What would
If
you
you were in
believe,
hell.
actually? Maybe that you're suffering,
But you don't know the word suffering yet.
but you're under anesthesia.
Oh yeah. You're suffering under anesthesia. You know you're
Bro,
yeah,
There's everybody out there.
you know you're on the patient bed.
That's a
Right?
painful question.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know you're there. That's perfect. But you're under anesthesia, just enough pain, and I bleed just to know I'm alive. And I don't want the world to see me, because they won't. I don't think they'll understand when everything is meant to be broken. I just want you to know who I am. Just want to know who the fuck you are. Right? And you're just enough pain to know you're alive. And then you get numb to that pain, so you have to seek a thrill, jump off an airplane with a balloon condom on your back with a few ropes. Right? And land, and any sane human being would say, what was your mission jumping out of that plane, soldier? Well, it was fun. Walking down the street is fun. Right? You must be numbing, right? Your soul is alcoholic now. Right? Now you got to seek the next one. Have you tried doing it at night? Yeah. You do it by yourself with someone on your back. You got to do it by yourself, dude. It's a whole different thing. Yeah. Have you done the ocean? So I just signed up for this thing, right? It's real men. Bitch men jump off fucking with their little pink things. It's gonna be at night, bro. We're gonna be jumping. You know where the devil goes in that game?
Yeah.
He's taking your soul. Your child is suffering, right? You're suffering, and you're now taken. And all you see when you watch TV is that. As a fighter, that's what happens. That's what I'm complaining about competing. I was just thinking about competition. That's it. No, nothing was anything in my head besides in relation to I'm gonna go get my ass kicked right now. It's gonna hurt, but I'm supposed to compete. I'm supposed to compete because the real fighter competes, and my black belt, which is what they attack AZD for, right? But you never won a competition. Yeah, I won first place at first black belt. How's that? My belt you can't take away. You compete. What year were you that? I'm still that. What year were you the champion for that? I'm still that today. I'll be there tomorrow. When I die, they'll be like, who was your first black belt? And I'll say that picture. And then generations later, but I didn't try to be famous or known or liked. I saw the spirit of that martial art in that man, and that's what I was seeking, truth. A man that small, that fearless, must know something about fighting that I don't know. He's defied all logic now. I've seen him beat too many. I've seen him whoop. That was a light whooping. The UFC guy got a
It's the
whooping.
guy with that guy that doesn't look that good with all those face tattoos and feminine gestures. There's got to be something we've been getting with him.
You know,
what I'm
I
saying?
realized that yesterday when you watch Jesse Peterson, he has a guy named Raymond. You'll get to know him. Raymond sounds like a retard, right? He's a 60-year-old man. It sounds like autistic almost. Like I can't even do his voice good, right? And this fucking guy is there. I know him now by Raymond, right? In every church that he has.
Mhm.
And when he asked him, what about you, Raymond? I'm just a piece of shit. I'm evil with no ego. So that's how I watch it with my girlfriends, right? Watching Jesse. And I'm calling out what's about to happen before it happens because I could hear it in the voice,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm like, that bitch is gonna argue, that bitch is evil, and it's literally just perfect. Bah, 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 bah. And I'm getting a massage, my eyes closed, so as the voices come on, I just call out the demons that I know the demons. Solomon. I conquered all those motherfuckers. They're still in here, but they work for me now because I'm also an actor. Now it can work. So my eyes are closed. That's that demon. That's that. And they prove it in their question later. All of them. Suddenly the retard shows up. I go, I can't register him. No, wait. I go, I can't register him. Right? Now the demon in me says, we'll try. But I wasn't trying those either. I was hearing them. This one, I can't hear him. We go forward. Suddenly, Jesse's about to get attacked by a woman. Not physically, but might as well. She's seething for him. Just all right. But I called it the first time she spoke. I was like, oh, that is a disgusting human being, right? And she showed it by the end. She's now going with him. Suddenly, fucking Raymond comes in and spits perfect truth. Like, well, if you were da da da, then you wouldn't say that. And when I heard him, I said, that's an angel. He's in every church service. When he speaks, he says, the Bible says da 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 da, like an autistic person. Or he says, the philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, and he quotes exactly, but he stutters. And he's like a retard old man. And when you ask him, what about you? I'm always going to be a piece of shit. This guy, that guy, Zotis, that guy, right? Don't look for the message to come through a clean-cut, smooth-looking guy that would be in a commercial. Then you would know the devil was working. Look for the truth to come from that retard who now, ready? I can't register him. Then when he spoke, I said, that's an angel. Angels don't register like that. There's no ego in that man. But he came in and stopped because she can't battle him. And then Zay, you came to my mind, right? That's like that pure voice. It's quiet, but why don't you testify? Boom, go. Right? Even Black Lives Matter can't attack. Right? So it's like, so it looks like it's going to come from a place that would look like a miracle if it did. And let those who have the ears hear. Because some people saw the tattooed guy and said, that guy knows something.
Exactly.
They had the
That's
ears
what it
hear.
was. That's what it was, man.
Exactly. Oh, it's 12. Okay. All right. You want to wrap it up?
I had a thought to wrap up, but one thing I'm learning from some things that you said was revealed to me that these revelations, they don't need to be spoken on right away. Let the seed germinate, let the flower blossom, it'll come out at the right time. So there's
a season for it. There's a season for it.
Oh, here it is. The season just came. So this foundation of what's happening here, I've been wanting to talk about with everybody, and I know that this is getting out to the Rosh Bazaar audience, Seductive Instinct audience, Masculine Mindset, and Temple of Christ, and everybody. Like, so, I know that I have a role, or there's a value here to help you all see the bridge to walk. And right, and so this was very fruitful for that. So that's what I wanted to
Thank you very much. That was incredible. Okay, if you could not yourself witness the testimony of this man changed, as a man of light, then you couldn't see it. But if you could, then that's what he was talking to you. All right, everybody. All right, see you later. See you guys. The amen of the warrior. People are like, how do you use oaths? I'm like, well, you kind of use it whenever. You can greet each other with it.
Yeah.
Something good happens. When you're in agreement, you do it for respect. Amen. 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 Like, it doesn't really have a meaning, but it just kind of comes out at the right time. And it just means like whatever's going on, something good with it. That's what I'm going to say, right? It's a description of something.
Very interesting. You said there's a favorite place to practice this famous in the strip clubs.
Isn't it?
Because then those things like, because I've been having this vision like, man, I've been wanting to go